Yesterday was first day of school at my house, and it was such an interesting world now with COVID-19 and doing school online from the house. So I had one kid doing school in the dining room, one kid doing school in his bedroom, and another kid doing school in the kitchen. All right, so all online. My son Dutch, it was all like Zoom stuff, right? So my son Dutch, who's 14, going in, or he started 8th grade yesterday. He was like in his underwear in his bed doing everything. And I guess he got like bored. And I found out that he put on a swim cap. So he just wearing
poor teachers right now.
He's wearing a swim cap for one class. You want to see he can do the whole class. So he wore a swim cap. Then my wife says it's so strange because you know how when you're at school and the bell rings and then you have like 5 minutes to get to the next class. I guess the bell rings, so you have 5 minutes. So my wife's like, kids come into the kitchen, get something to eat. Like, it's weird.
It is very bizarre.
And then so the kids come in the kitchen, get something to eat, go back in and go do whatever. Then Dutch goes, changes and puts on a suit.
Us, like a suit and tie?
Like a business suit.
So he has a different outfit for each period?
Yeah, so he puts on a suit. So he sits in the next period. So today he said he's going to try to wear a business suit the whole day in his class. Kemp, who's now a junior, he's just normal. He's just sitting there like normal. So Jake went into his room for a little bit. So my wife, we had to sign some papers and stuff. We were doing some business stuff. And so we had some people at my house, or a woman at my house, and had a stack of papers we had to sign. So we were in the kitchen signing papers, right? So I'm home after the show. School's still going on. It's about to end. My wife has her phone sitting there. The kids are all in school at the house. I can't see them. My wife's phone gets a text message from one of the school, the counselors at the school for my son, Jake. Okay? And she clicks on it, and it says, Jake didn't show up the third period. And I'm like, how? Like, is that, did he ditch school already? He's only been a senior a day. Like, how did he miss third period? Like, he's in my house. Like, he's in the other room doing school. Like, what is, so we get up and go over, and he's like, I don't know, what are you talking about? So he's trying to get on. There was like a Zoom malfunction. Half the class didn't make it. But getting that text, it was so random. Like, I just see him go, I do feel like I'm ditching today. Don't show up to Zoom. Like, ditching school as senior ditch day is totally different than it was when I was a kid.
I'm so surprised and impressed that your wife got all three of your kids like logged in with their class IDs and all their passwords and everything. That's impressive. I've already seen like Joe, my oldest, come up with a way to beat the system. So I told you he does his school on his laptop, which has the gaming computer. So what he does is during class is he'll put in an AirPod and listen to music underneath the teacher. So he's got 2 sets of headphones on so he can jam out during class and nobody knows. I think that's kind of cool.
That's distracting, isn't it, a little bit?
Not for him, because he listens to like soundtracks, like with not a lot of words in them. So for him,
you know what? That might actually make school pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like the teacher's like, you're in science class, and it's like Star Wars behind you.
Sure.
You know?
And that's his thing, Avengers soundtrack.
And E equals MC squared. It's like, dun, dun, dun.
That's what he says. He's like, it keeps everything.
Genius.
It's got dramatic pause to it. So if you can get away with that, there's a little school life hack for you.
That's true.
And then both my older kids, Jake and Kemp, they're done with school at 11:15, which is different, right? Dutch, my youngest, he has school till 1:50. So it was interesting to see the 2 older ones go into his room and go, loser.
Of course.
While he's in class?
Yeah, and then they both are like leaving. They get to go. I mean, it's literally rubbing in his face. I mean, and they go, like Jake went to go was playing video games. And you're not allowed to play video games in our house during school, but to rub it in his face, it was okay.
Priorities, right?
The moral compass is straight.
It was all fun. All fun and games during first day of school. It's just a trip, man. And the first day of school photo I posted on my Instagram, weird. They're just like in socks and barefoot. And, like traditionally, first day of school, you dress up, all new clothes. We'd always go to the Nike store and get all that clothes and just wait for the first day of school. And then the first day of school is all new clothes. Nope. I don't think Dutch was wearing a shirt. I don't even remember. No, he wasn't. He was wearing a gold chain.
Just a gold chain.
He was wearing a giant gold chain for the first day of school.
So it's Jake's senior year?
Yeah.
How does he feel about the whole thing? Is he kind of bummed out?
I don't know. I think he misses his friends a lot. He's like his mom, has to be around, has to have friends and talk to his friends and stuff. Kemp is fine with no friends, and Dutch has to have friends too. In fact, Dutch went to a friend's house after school. We had to go pick him up. We went and did family yoga yesterday. I love that. But
My friend's daughter's a senior, and she was saying that she's like so bummed out because, like, you know, they're going to miss out on football games, going and watching their friends, all of the dances. Like, it's just like how we felt for the seniors of last year missing out on graduation, except for seniors this year are missing out on everything.
Yeah, they don't get taste
They
of
don't
any
even
of that.
get half a year.
Right.
Oh, so
Maybe
sad.
the end of the year, hopefully.
they can always do bad and get bad grades and repeat.
Not good
Look at the
advice.
positive side.
Oh, John Jay with the solutions.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I wanted to ask Delaney about something. So I know she's reading, and I saw it at the airport last week when I was flying, the new Twilight book. So I had talked to somebody. Somebody messaged me and said, I'm finished the new Twilight book. And Delaney's like, I'm reading it right now. And she wrote something about
She just skipped in here.
you got it right. So
So cute.
I remember when the Twilight movies came out and the book came out, and it was like the biggest thing in the world, right?
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
Edward and Bella. Was that their names?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And Jacob.
So now what is the
Team Jacob over here.
What's the difference? Because I thought she was done writing these books.
Well, yeah, and it's interesting because actually when the books, like when the series first came out, she was writing Midnight Sun, which is the most recent book, and someone had linked her rough draft, and she was like, I'm not, like this, it was only 200 pages that she had finished. She's like, I'm not releasing it. And now 15 years later, she dropped the book. And it's interesting because I was actually on like social media and I saw someone had bought it and I was like, oh my gosh, it's out. So I literally ran to my car and drove to Barnes and Noble to go get this book before it closed. And it's from Edward's point of view. So you get to hear, or I guess read what it was like for him when he first met Bella. And from the movie standpoint or the other book, he's very like quiet and silent because he's always in his head. So you get to kind of read his thoughts and like actually what he's thinking. And this is why I felt cringy. It's like, because you almost appreciate their love so much more because of like how much he went through internally to like be with her.
And that's something she always wondered too.
Yes.
Like, what is he thinking? Like, he's so quiet. He's just staring at
Exactly.
me. It's like such a mystery.
Exactly. And this book is 700 pages. Like he has such
Whoa.
a big internal dialogue.
Actually, when
That
you
doesn't
said,
sound like a guy.
when Delaney
She got
said
it wrong.
Yeah,
she
no.
had only
Hungry?
linked 200 pages, I'm like, geez Louise.
know,
What do you mean only 200 pages?
From a
For me to read
guy's-
a 200-page book, period, it would be a miracle.
From a guy's point of view, you would think it'd be what were those little things in college?
Post-its?
No,
Cliff Notes?
Cliff Notes. Yeah.
Wow.
What? That's why it's not believable.
I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm
Hey,
horny.
there
Because he's
are
a vampire.
really deep thinkers out there.
Well, yeah, and he's technically over 100 years old, so he's very smart. So it's very like an intense
you
internal
love it?
Is that how
dialogue that he
you
has.
think, John
Do
Jay?
you love the book so far?
Yes, I love it. I really do. It's really, really good. I'm so happy that she came out with it.
I'm into any vampire book.
So she could
good.
write another book though on the girl he liked before Bella. If he's 100 years old,
So
like, man, I read the girl, and then it's like, does he start off this book with like, and then Francine died? Oh, new girl. Because she's like,
Oh my
she
God.
died of old age at 80. I still look 20. So, oh, here's a new girl. Like,
Well,
I mean,
actually, all of his quote unquote siblings, they all had partners but Edward. Like Bella's the first girl that he actually fell in love with. So this is like a big deal for like his parents. Like they were so happy that he finally found someone. So
are you done with it?
no, I'm only on page 300.
Oh my God. That's such a
Yeah.
long book.
And that's like, you're not even halfway.
I know, I'm not even halfway.
All right. So it's Midnight Sun.
Yes.
And so far you love it. And
Yes.
you were reading it all day yesterday.
All day.
All right.